he also is the #1 most admired senator in the United States Senate. They polled all 50 states, and of the 100 senators, he has the highest approval rating of all 100 senators. It's amazing. He has the most volunteers. He has the most number of donors with the smallest amount of money, $18.50. And this morning, this really grabbed me, the news this morning, that the story said, amongst our active duty military, those who serve this country in all the armed forces, the candidate who has received the most donations from our active duty service members is Bernie Sanders. Oh! This is not surprising, though. What he has stood for, what he has fought for over the years. I mean, you go back, you can look this up online. There's a picture of him from 1963. I think he's 19 years old. He's in college. And he's being arrested by the police at a civil rights demonstration, 1963. And he's got a police officer locked into each arm, and he's fighting with them. He's just supposed to be, it's civil disobedience. You just drop your arms, and they arrest you. Not Bernie. He's fighting them. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Give me alone. Give me alone. Yes, I'm convinced he talked like that even when he was 19. I said, leave me alone. Look at the picture. And when they put him in the paddy wagon to take him away to jail, they have him chained to 2 black women who are also in chains. It's so powerful that as a young person, way back then, that he was that person that he is today. In 1972, just 3 years after the Stonewall Uprising, 1972, he writes this essay about how there should be no laws or anything discriminating people against people who love someone of their same gender. 1972! 1972! I gotta tell you, I was alive then, and I'm pretty certain the term gay rights didn't even exist. But he was already for gay rights. He was already standing up. And sometimes he was alone when he stood up. Back when it was illegal for women to control their own reproductive system, where the government would decide. Way back then, before Roe versus Wade, in 1973, Bernie, in the late 60s, was writing about how this is wrong and that the government has no business telling a woman what to do. This is in the late 60s. It just goes on and on and on. And so someone last week in Dubuque asked Bernie, well, don't you think you're too old to be president? And he said, well, I have lived long, but what you can see from my years is that I'm the same person in 2020 that I was in 1963. I am the same fighter for what is right and what is just. And he said, and the good thing you get about somebody who's older is, what you know about old people, we don't change. So there's no chance of me changing. There's no chance of me selling out. There's no chance of me being bought by anybody. That's who you want. I watched that Dubuque thing and I thought, man, I'll tell you what's too old. $7.25 an hour. That's too old. Denying that we're in a climate emergency, that's too old. Women not being paid the same as men, that's too old. No, we need somebody who just didn't figure out what the difference is between right and wrong. We're so fortunate to have, it's the gift of the elders in him, because he has remained so consistent. We know what we're getting. And I have to tell you this because something happened today that kind of broke my heart, made me kind of angry all over again. You know, we've been out here on the trail here in Iowa for, at least for myself, for these last 10 days. And we've been stressing unity, supporting each other. We all got to come together at the end when the primaries are over and remove Donald J. Trump. So, and every day Bernie cautions us, don't say anything, you can point out the record of our opponents. That's good. But don't trash the people that are my friends, that I work with, that we want them to come along and think about these issues in this way. And then I turned on the news this morning, and there's the DNC, the Democratic National Committee. You know, we already have enough to fight with Donald Trump and these enabler Republicans and corporate America and the banks and Wall Street. That's enough on our shoulders. But the fact that I'd have to wake up this morning and realize that we have to fight the corporate Democrats, the 1% of the Democratic Party who are thoroughly pissed that Bernie Sanders is now number one, that Bernie Sanders might win this primary season, that Bernie Sanders might be the next president of the United States. They're so upset. They're like asking each other, how the hell did this happen? Bernie wasn't supposed to win. And so today they announced, in this Hail Mary pass of theirs, to try to undo the people's movement. They are removing the rule to be on the debate stage where it says you have to have so many people donating to you. Otherwise, instead of 27 people on the stage, there'd be 227 people on the stage. So you had to have a certain number of Americans that would give you a buck. That's all the rule said. But it would to show that there's support. And that's how they determined who would be on that debate stage. Today, they removed that rule because Mike Bloomberg, the billionaire, the Republican mayor of New York City, they're backstage going, oh God, what's he going to say? They removed it so that he could be in the next debate. He doesn't have to show he has any support amongst the American people. He can just buy his way onto the debate stage. And I got to tell you what's so disgusting about this. I watched the debate in Iowa here 2 weeks ago. The all-white debate. And the fact that the DNC will not allow Cory Booker on that stage, will not allow Julián Castro on that stage, but they're going to allow Mike Bloomberg on the stage because he's got $1 billion fucking dollars. I'm sorry. Those days are over. Those days are over. There are TV cameras here. What's good? They're going to have to start bleeping 5,000 people in here. No, but you understand, right? And that's why, see, this is why on Monday we have to elect Bernie. Because if not, we're just stuck in the same old rut where the corporate Democrats, Goldman Sachs becomes the #1 contributor to the person running for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. We have to stop this. We don't get anywhere with it. Every time I saw the commercial for Joe Biden today on TV, and I'm like, it said, you know what he said? Vote for me. I'm the safe candidate. I'm your safe choice. I'm like, what? That's how low the bar is right now? You just have to be safe? You don't have to be on work release. You're not on a list of offenders. You're just safe. I mean, seriously, if you're single and you're on Match.com or any of those dating sites, if you saw a guy write in his profile, I'm safe, whoa, you're not safe. And I'm going to tell you, Joe Biden, here's who's not safe. Those who voted to send us to invade the nation of Iraq. You did that, Joe Biden. You're not safe. Every time that we have run a Democrat who voted for the war, Kerry, Hillary, and now Biden, we've lost. We lose when we put these Democrats on the ballot in November. I'm tired of losing. Aren't you tired of losing? I want an end to this right now. I just don't know. It's, and they say, you know, something else I figured out this week here in Iowa. Bernie can't win. Bernie can't win. Bernie can't win. Bernie can't win. Well, I like Bernie, but he can't win. Really? Really? That's why he's #1 in all these polls. That's why he's the most beloved elected official in the country. That's why. No, I'll tell you, actually, I believe that's our only chance to win because we need a fighter in this race. We need the Trump stopper. We need the Trump slayer. We need the person who's going to end the madness, and that is Bernie Sanders. The reason I tell my fellow boomers, I said, listen, well, you've got to listen to the children. And I'll tell you why. If there are boomers in here, why we have to go with what the young adults want. It's their future. We handed them a life where we, at our age, we went to college for free. Or nearly free, right? Boomers, anybody in here? Right? How much did you pay? How much did you pay when you went to college? $250 a semester. All right, security, protect him. Protect. You've got people in here with $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,000 of debt, and they just found out that you and I and everybody else our age went for fucking free. He was brave enough to tell you the secret. But see, that's the world we've given them. At 22, we put you in a debtor's prison for the next 20 years of your life, 30 years of your life, working off this student loan debt. That's wrong that we've done that. It's wrong that we've left them with a planet where they're going to choke to death, where they're going to drown. That's wrong. It's wrong. And look, I know we did a lot of good things. boomers. But now there's a reason they mock us. Okay, boomers. And that's because they figured out that we've fucked them over. We've left them with a dirty, disgusting planet. We didn't. So listen, but here's a way out. Here's something we can do so that they'll take care of us in our old age. Vote for Bernie. Vote for Bernie. Tell your 20, 30, 40-year-old sons and daughters tonight when you leave here, call them up and say, you know what? I want to make it up to you. I want to. You should be able to own a home, and you can't. You should be able to go to college and then live your life the way you want to live it, and not be a slave to some job that you don't want to be in. And you and your children should be able to live out your natural lives and not have to die before your time because of the poison planet. So here's what I'm going to do. Even though I really like Elizabeth Warren, or I really like Amy, or Uncle Joe, we've known him for so long, I'm not going to vote for them on Monday. I'm going to vote for you. It's my way of making it up to you. To you, to the Gen Xers, to the millennials. We make it up to you by voting for the person who is going to fight for your future. Not our future, your future. Your future. Bernie! 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 And I just want to say one more thing about whether this is really a democracy. I want to believe that it is. But there's something terribly wrong when the person that we vote for, the person that gets the most votes, doesn't walk into the White House as the next president of the United States. Twice in the last 20 years, the Democratic candidate won the majority of the votes, but didn't walk into the White House. Do you think the Republicans or Donald Trump, if they won the majority of votes, would settle for that? No. But we're like, what is it with us? What is it with, yes, I know we're the people of peace and love and kindness and all this, but we have to back that up with some fight in us. We have to be able to say, no, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. We're not going to do this anymore. We're going to fight for ourselves, for our lives. This has to happen because you know what? If you graduate from college and you're $50,000 in debt, $150,000? No, oh my God. Well, I was over at the Smoky Row Cafe, and a woman came up to me. She's a resident here, medical school resident in one of your hospitals, and she said, are you here? Only in Iowa. Everybody knows everybody. All right, I forgot your name. It was... Yes, everybody's naming themselves. I have $300,000 in debt too. She has $300,000 in debt because she wanted to be a doctor. Do you know what the Canadians do if you want to be a doctor? They not only is your 8 years of college free, they pay you to go to medical school. That's what a civilized country does. And I'll tell you, I don't want any doctor being $300,000 in debt. I want them focusing completely on me. I want them to have no stress. I don't want them worrying about how they're going to pay the mortgage tomorrow when they're supposed to be worrying about me. Right? Don't we all want that? Do you want your doctor thinking about, fuck, I'm $300,000 in debt. I need the pharmaceuticals. No, this is wrong. We don't live in a free country when it's like this. We don't live in a free country when you get sick, you have to worry about losing your home. We don't live in a free country where the people that couldn't come here tonight because they can't afford child care, so they couldn't participate in the democratic political process simply because they have children and they're punished. They're punished for having children. That's not called freedom. That is not democracy. We have to change this, and Bernie Sanders is the only one of these candidates who's going to change that. He's the only one. How are we doing over there? Huh? Here? Yeah? Oh, good. Oh, excellent. Okay, great. Sorry. I'm just killing a little time. But, man, I love all of you. I just thank you for coming here. I can't wait. I can't wait to go back to Michigan and tell people that the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones and the Panthers, Who else? Who are they? At Clive University? No. The Bulldogs. Yes, of course. No, we've been everywhere. We went to the University of Northern Iowa. Oh my God, it's so great up there. And listen, Monday night, everybody, you know what your job is, right? You got to bring 10 people with you. You got to go right to the Bernie corner and caucus. We need you. The rest of the country needs you. We are all looking upon you. You made Barack Obama happen in 2008. You can make history happen again right here in the great state of Iowa. Let's bring on the co-chair of the Sanders campaign, the state senator from Ohio, Nina Turner. Here she is.